great, you would be a military genius. But the fact that you tried to do that bought you a really good battlefield result. And the fact that you screened your flanks as well as you did, you had cavalry and archers looking after your left, you had cavalry and light infantry looking after your right, meant that you were able to achieve the battlefield result you wanted. Really well done, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's one small bitter aftertaste to all this, though. By being Alexander only more so, you've led from the front, and he's dead. Which is a bit of a setback if you want to be King of Kings and enjoy all the orgies that come with that job title. But overall, you did very well.
Tell me how it really happened.
Okay, this is the real Macedonian deployment.
Wait, I have so many people. I am so powerful. I am the King of Kings. Now I need a stick.
Okay, you've got the Macedonian deployment here. You've got the phalanx, the great pike phalanx, as the great line of infantry. You've got the cavalry secured by flanks. Only because Alexander the Great isn't quite as hard as you guys, he's got his hoplites as a second line, ready to meet unexpected contingencies on the flanks as he advances. But of course, being Alexander the Great and being in command of the great phalanx, he's going to advance. And that's what he does. He sets off his main line of troops, and as they go forward, there's a tendency for them to move towards the right, the Macedonian right and the Persian left. As the Macedonian phalanx makes its way forward, I think I'm going to nip round to this part of the table.
Feel free to move, you've got control of the room.
They didn't know what they were doing.
As they continue moving forward and still pulling off to the right here to concentrate their force on just a part of the Persian line, they do what's called refusing a flank. Alexander doesn't want to get this flank attacked by the Persian cavalry, so he brings back some phalanxes and bends the line and puts these men under his trusted lieutenant Parmenio.
Bessus, who is Darius's commander out here on the left, sends a whole lot of cavalry out here to mix it in with Alexander's cavalry. And there's a whole cavalry battle that develops here on the left.
But Alexander himself and the key squadrons of the companion cavalry staying close to him remain unengaged with the vulgar horde. The phalanx keeps coming forward and at a last moment accelerates into the Persian line, and as they go, the companion cavalry is ready to take each of these Persian units in the flank as it's pinned at the front by the Macedonians, and they're absolutely, oh no, absolutely, it's pretty much exactly what you were doing, except what they succeeded in doing was disengaging each time rather than pursuing and getting stuck in on the next one, clear that one, next one, and they started basically rolling up the Persian line, but the Persians still had one more move left in them.
The Persians on the left send people off to try to deal with Alexander's cavalry, but they see that fight over there. They assume that's where they need to be. So the extra cavalry on that side go charging off into the distance. They're never seen again. And off here on the right, Darius's cavalry and some of Darius's light troops, they see an irresistible thing opening. They see that big hole there. And they start driving through that big hole. Cavalry drive through the big hole. The cavalry see Alexander's camp way in the back, 5-7 miles away. And they go shooting off there and try to rescue Darius's mom and Darius's wife and kids, who are all being held hostage by Alexander. They charge off, maybe they come back, maybe they don't. They're out of the fight. And the rest of Darius's army starts getting in here, except for one guy, Darius. Darius sees everything starting to go wrong, and Darius turns around and leaves the field. The King of Kings is going to live to fight another day. But meanwhile, look at all those guys over there.
Right, okay, the hoplites nip off any further exploitation of that gap, and Alexander himself comes around, joins in the final climactic melee and the slaughter of those few Persian troops who've managed to get into that gap in the Macedonian lines. And the battle is concluded. Alexander gets his regime changed. The whole Persian Empire simply fits in, obeys his commands. He's in charge. Inordinate amounts of heavy drinking, celebratory orgy. No biped with a pulse is safe.
At the real Battle of Gaugamela, Alexander the Great's army won a decisive victory. The Persian Emperor Darius fled the battlefield, only to be hunted down and murdered by one of his own commanders. Alexander was crowned king of all Asia and went on to control over half the known world, an empire stretching from Greece to India.
All right. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
You enjoy yourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the winning bits.
We were hoping you'd lose and there'd be tears, but that's television.
Hey,
so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done, Richard. Hard work.